Why does everyone hate this game? Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we are talking about an upcoming Nintendo Switch game called Harvestella. And this has been, I guess, sort of a controversial game, at least in people's opinions about it. And this is going to be my initial review of this game. I didn't play the full version, but this is like my review of the demo that's on the Nintendo Switch. And actually, you can play a lot of the demo. You can play up to past chapter 2 or 15 in-game days, whatever comes first. And that's about 3-4 hours of gameplay. So I feel like I can at least talk about the basic mechanics and whether or not the demo changed my mind. Did I pre-order this game on Amazon? I don't know. Was it that good? Let's get into it. So I kind of want to start with the negative things because overall, I feel like the responses that I'm hearing towards this game have been overwhelmingly negative. So I got to admit that this game isn't perfect, but here's a few things that I didn't really care for in this game, I guess. All right, let's get started. So the first negative thing for me, and it won't be for everyone, but you know, in a game like this, in an RPG farming sort of sim game, you're going to be playing this hundreds of hours. So character customization has always been sort of at least a little bit important. You know, it helps me immerse myself better in the world. And I'm just going to say it, Harvestella's character customization is not good. It's probably one of the worst I've seen. So here's what you can do. You can change between, or you can decide between male, female, or non-binary. And all that basically does is choose your pronouns in this game, how people will address you. In terms of appearance though, you do have a male or a female option, a male or a feminine body type, and a masculine or a feminine voice type. You can change your hairstyle a little bit, but I don't feel like any of the changes are significant. Either way, either side that you choose, it's pretty gender neutral. So I kind of think that they should have done either one of two things. The first thing they should have done, make a better character customization. And the second thing is maybe just get rid of character customization and we could play as just a main protagonist, whether it's just like a male protagonist or like a female. I don't know. I just didn't think that the character customization was like, didn't change anything. And it kind of just felt tacked on. So in my playthrough, I chose to be like a petite female character because I just thought it made the most sense based off like what assets we were given. So that was my first thing. Again, not a deal breaker for everyone, but just something I wanted to know. The second thing about this game that pains me, and I hope that they can fix it, but I don't think they will, and that is time. Okay, time plays a big part in this game. And I think I kind of knew what they were going for, but it just doesn't work for me. It didn't work for me. Time moves very quickly in this game, like too fast, to the point where I feel like I'm constantly against the clock, and especially a game that's at least half about relaxing and doing sort of cozy things like farming, fishing, taking care of livestock. I don't want to feel that way. And time just, it seems to be like on purpose because of some of the other mechanics in the game. So just to give you an example, it takes you one in-game hour to catch a fish. Okay? That's nuts to me. Like one in-game hour to catch a fish. Also, there is this like map that you can walk around in real time. So basically like a map comes up when you go to a certain section and you move your character around the map. Well, when I first started playing, I didn't know where the heck I was going. So I took my character all the way up the map. And what I didn't realize is that every single step is 10 minutes when you're in that map. So I essentially wasted an entire day. I mean, you later know where you're going, so that's not a huge thing. But yeah, that walkable map, you can like waste 4 or 5 in-game hours just going from one end to the other, which I think is a problem. Maybe it's just a strategic thing. Like you kind of have to like plan out your day before you start. And like, I could see that concept, but time is just a constant theme in this game. So for example, when you're crafting things, of course you need the materials to craft things, but you also need time to craft it. Same thing with like repair kits. You can, when you're in dungeons, which we'll get to later, you need a repair kit to fix a bridge. Well, not only do you need that repair kit, but it also wastes 1 in-game hour. So that's, I mean, So you're already battling against the time, but like now you have to craft things that waste time. So that's kind of frustrating. There are items in the game that lets you automatically fast travel back to your home. Like you can just like, I think it's a potion that you can take. And there's also like little fast travel points that you can teleport to, which helps. But honestly, if there was a way for them to double the time of each day, I think this game would immediately be much better. Like that's how fast it goes. So yeah, the time is going to be a big deterrent for people. And yeah, it just goes by way too fast. And the third and kind of final thing, I swear on the negative side, is just the game is a full $60. It is made by Square Enix. They make amazing games. This is a full $60 game, which is okay. I don't mind spending a full price for a game. I mean, gaming is an expensive hobby. People need to get paid. Games aren't cheap to make. So I get all of that. But with a premium price, I would expect some premium features. And one thing that is severely lacking in this game is voice acting. I thought voice acting was actually in this game. And it is to an extent, but it's sort of like that minimal, like just the voice blurbs, you know, like when you walk into a shop, the shopkeeper will be like, oh, what can I get for you? Like some like little things like that. But man, the amount of cutscenes and story elements that are in this game and there's no voice acting is kind of jarring. So yeah, if you do get this game or end up playing the demo, which I do recommend playing the demo, you're gonna have to read a lot, which is totally fine, you know. But I would have liked at least some of the major moments to be voice acted, you know. So you know, different things like that. I've heard complaints about the visuals, and honestly, I think the visuals are really good. But there is sort of like an oil slick, like it comes off as like a little blurry, the visuals sometimes, but that doesn't detract me from the game at all. I'm going to compare this game a lot to Rune Factory 5, which came out recently, kind of. And I think the visuals in this game are way better than Rune Factory 5. I love the visuals in this game. They're great. So those are my only negatives, which could be a deal breaker. I mean, they are major negatives, but now let's get into the good part. So like I said, those were my only negatives. And right then and there, it kind of stops being negative and starts becoming more positive because what this game has, I really enjoy. So essentially, if you are familiar with the Rune Factory series, you're going to feel right at home because this game is parts dungeon crawler, combat, RPG, like action RPG, and then the other part is like farm sim, life sim. So I actually like that combination a lot because it kind of breaks up the daily routine. Like a lot of the games that I personally enjoy and a lot of you enjoy, like Harvest Moon, Story of Seasons, Stardew, but even those games, you kind of get into like this daily routine where you're doing like the same things over and over. And I know Stardew has like dungeons with monsters and stuff, but you know what I'm saying? It becomes a cycle, you know? And in this game, there's a lot of story elements. And like I said, there are dungeons where you are fighting monsters and it just breaks it up nicely. So I enjoyed the pacing in this game quite a bit. The big thing that I think you guys want me to talk about is the farming in this game. Obviously it's in the name, Harvestella, and that is the big selling point for a lot of people. Again, the comparisons to Rune Factory, like I think we have to talk about farming. And I don't think I can fairly review farming as a whole for this game because again, it was the demo version and there are a lot of signs that like things are going to open up in the full version. But farming is just, it's there, you know, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad farming mechanic, but it's just kind of there. I mean, the only difference really is like in a traditional farming game, you're like planting one carrot and then you're planting another carrot and then you're watering that one carrot and you're watering another carrot. Well, in this game, when you plant things, they're in sort of a group. So you're planting like 6 at a time. So like the squares that you're watering and planting are bigger. And I actually like that because with what I said before, time goes by so fast. It's kind of nice that they dumb down farming a little bit. There's quite a bit of crops to choose from. You buy your seeds at the general store. You can also find seeds in dungeons as well. And I feel like the farming was good. You basically till the land twice, plant your seeds, water your seeds, and then depending on the crop, it takes like 1, 2, 3, 4, keeps going in terms of days it takes to grow them. And then when you grow them, you can either use them in cooking recipes, there is cooking in this game, or you can just put them in your drop box and then the next day you get money. So it's very, very standard. What I will say is that I was walking around the town and there are other fields that you can unlock. You can't get to in the demo version, but there are other fields that you can farm in. And there's a couple of pens where you can have livestock, you know, so I haven't explored that yet. I don't think it's in the demo. I know that you can also get pets at some point too. So, I mean, I think the demo, like the purpose of it was to kind of teach us about the mechanics of farming and then go from there. So the farming is good. If you're wondering about the farming, it is good, albeit basic, which is fine though. And then I mentioned the combat. I think combat is very big in this game, and I liked a lot of it. It's very basic. You know, you have a basic sword. You later unlock magic, and it's pretty basic. There's cooldowns for like certain spells that you can use. You can upgrade. They call it jobs in this game, so you can like upgrade your combat in some way. I think that is going to get more complex and stuff as well, because I think there are like 9 jobs that you can choose from. But right now I'm only like a swordsman and a mage, and certain enemies are weaker towards the magic and things like that. So yeah, it's pretty basic. You can have followers with you as well, but you know, it's good. It feels good. The game feels good. The mechanics in this game aren't too over the top and too cumbersome, and they're not like, there's not a bunch of tutorials that you need to learn. So I guess in that regard, it's definitely a positive for me. So with all that out of the way, how do I feel about Harvestella after playing it for nearly 4 hours? And I pre-ordered it. I bought it. I bought the game. This won me over. I've been hearing so many negative things about Harvestella, and honestly, I think it checks a lot of the boxes of like my love for the Rune Factory series. And I think this game, not perfect. It's definitely not perfect. And I would have liked if this game was probably around the $39.99 price. And I do recommend this game if it goes on sale. It's not going to be for everyone. It is a very story heavy game. Like the first hour of the demo is all story. Like you're just clicking through things, you're reading things. The story is actually good too, and I didn't even touch on that. The story is really, really interesting. Not going to spoil anything, but essentially you like trying to regain your memory. Some meteor crashes and this mysterious girl appears in your town, and like she escapes, and you're kind of basically you're trying to find out who she is, who you are, and how you got into. So it's actually like, I want to know what happens with this story. And like I said, it won me over. I feel like I'm gonna buy this day one, and I am buying it day one. I pre-ordered it, and I think it's good. Again, not for everyone. It is a premium price. You can kind of take everything I said about the negative side and the positive side, but at its core, it is a very simplistic dungeon crawler with farming elements. And the farming does seem very tacked on. It seems just like an excuse for you to make money. You know, same thing with fishing and things like that. But I think the game is going to open up more in the final version. The farming is going to become more interesting and more elements are going to open up. Same thing with like livestock and even combat. I think this game is worthy of a purchase. I really do. And that might be a hot take because I've seen nothing but negative, you know, feedback for this game, but I like it. The only deterrent for me is the time. It's always going to plague me when I play this game, but maybe that's just the strategy element of it. But I don't know. The time goes by way too fast. But besides that, I'm buying it. I'm hooked. I'm going to play it. And also, if you do play this demo, your data carries over. So if you are interested in this game and you're like, oh, the demo's out, but I'm just gonna have to replay it, just play the demo. All your save data will, you know, transfer over. So that's really good as well. So that is my first look, sort of pre-review, I guess you would say, of Harvestella. I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what I played, and I will be getting the full version. So yeah, there you go. Those are my thoughts. Might not be popular, but it's whatever. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.